Hello everyone, my name is Hanif Satria Dwitama, student ID number 2111010600340. Here, wanted to share my review on a play, Catharsis by Steve Russell. So, story, right? It's actually kind of convoluted at first, but don't worry, I will tell you in the most simplest way that I can, hopefully. So, it follows the story of Sandra, a woman who seemingly have a bad thought, seemingly in distress in her mind, and she can't sleep because of that. So, in order to get a better sleep, she will do anything, and it's one of illegal things. She bought a drug from a dealer, and seemingly the drug is working at first. She had good dreams about having a family and a husband and daughter in her life, but as the story progressed, the drug started off become, it's not really working anymore. She kind of have a bad dream later. It triggered her traumatic experiences. Would reveal that she actually implicitly a victim of sexual abuse, and it gives her a traumatic experience, right? And in the end, she just stopped using the drugs and start to get a better life. Just wait off the bad experience, right? So the character, as I mentioned earlier, Sandra is our protagonist. She a selfish character, right? She want to achieve anything in order to get what she wants. So she's started off kind of look depressed and sad. She's crying, and we don't know at start what happened with her until slowly we know that when she bought a drug, she wanted to get a better sleep, and in her dream it was revealed that she is actually have a traumatic experience in the past. But later, she just, after she got a nightmare, and she thinks that drugs is not the answer to purify her memories. It's called catharsis, right? She it's not the answer for to purify her bad memories. And yeah. Oh, and there's her daughter, Megan. which is we can only see on the dream. She's a minor character, but she's important. I mean, from my analysis, I think, in my opinion, that Megan is actually the mirror self of Sandra in the past, when she gets sexual abused by her stepfather. We get into that later. She is pretty cheerful in the story, and yeah, it's just one of the bad memories of her, part of the representation. There's also Sandra's husband, which also can only be seen at the dream. I think it's actually kind of the thought of Sandra that if her life was alright, I mean, she doesn't have the past, she could have a very responsible husband, kind and caring, kind of like that. It's just the idea that she thinks it what could be happen if her past doesn't mess up. And lastly, it's most likely there's Sandra's stepfather. We can only see him in the dream also, like two others character. Uh, he's only appeared at the last part, right? But I think he's kind of key character too. For when he revealed, we can actually can imply that Sandra have a bad experience with stepfathers, or I don't know, probably fathers in general. From what I for my analytic, and yeah, his kind of represent his past, and he just pretty evil and vile, that caused Sandra's having a bad dream. And yeah, I think the plot. The plot is kind of, the rhythm, the flow kind of high and low or something. It kind of have mystery at first, like it reveal after the story progresses. The exposition is when Sandra, our protagonist, just came out from the pool. As she's crying, and we don't know what happened to her. We just asking a question: why she's crying? What happened? Right, and then in here we have rising action is where the problem starts. It's when Sandra actually go to the drug dealer. She can't sleep, and she thinks it's the only way that she could have her good sleep back. And she starts have a good sleep, have good dream too. Like she's having a family, a husband, and a daughter, climax, she started to realize that she have a nightmare. In the dream, she met her stepfather, where he wanted to visit her, and the father started to looking at the daughter of Sandra, and I think it's the way how they're portray young Sandra get molested and sexual abused by her stepfather. The Megan, as I mentioned earlier on the character, I think it's kind of symbolic. She's kind of symbolic that she actually the mirror self of Sandra when she was a kid. And Sandra just want to protect her daughter, right? And in the dream, she have a sister and step his father. For me, it's also kind of have a implicit meaning on it. I think it's the way where Sandra is actually cut off the relationship between her and her stepfather. And later she awake, and in the following action she started to realize that drug is not the answer, and she started to flushes the tablets and visits a graveyard of someone. And the graveyard, I think it's also have a symbolic on it. I think it's symbolized of how the Sandra actually kind of killed her own past, and it's a graveyard of her memories. I don't know what the actual graveyard on the scene, but most likely it's just symbolizing things. And in resolution, she start to accept her new life. She pure revise the old her old self, and she's swimming again, and when she came out she's smiling, unlike in the first opening, in the first intro. Settings, time and place. I think the time that took place on evening, at night, because Sandra's most on the story is sleeping and having a dream, right? And the place, it's actually took place in most likely swim. At first, it's swim pool, and in the last scene, and Sandra's house, bedroom, and Sandra's dream, where most likely it's when the time when the drama start off. as for the theme, it's focus on the traumatic experience of someone, and how to get rid of it. Uh, that's why it's titled Catharsis. It's implying when you purifying one of the traumatic experience by doing something. In this case, Sandra doing something illegal at first, but suddenly she just have realization, and then it cleans her past, right? Also, there's sexual abuse for a little bit because it's only implied there. There's the cost, what will happen when the victim of sexual abuse after post post the the abuse, right? Um, yeah, I think that's it from me. So overall, the Catharsis is one of the deep play that I will probably want to see on real stage, not only just read it on the script. So yeah, thank you.